When I was 3 years old, I told my mum I wanted to play piano. She told me that I needed to wait until I was doing full days in school. So, on the first day of school, I told her she promised me I could play piano. So, ever since that day, that's been about 13 years now, almost every day I've sat down and made some sort of music, whether that's on piano, clarinet, or electronically. For me, music has always been a vessel for my emotions, a way to escape beyond myself and just feel. I believe music can tell the stories of hope, of new beginnings, of a fight for change, of a hope for a better future. And in the same way, when I think of Trenneth, I think of the hope that allows us to drive for change in the day after tomorrow. I guess the slide won't change. Okay, perfect. In a quite literal sense, the day after tomorrow is a fresh start. The morning brings a second chance, a hope. That was Grieg's Morning Mood, written in 1875. Did you notice the high-pitched flute and oboe melody? This is based on a 5-note pentatonic scale, and for me creates that sense of calmness and serenity, the feeling of opening your eyes into the fresh slate that a new day brings. Now this is then followed by a great big swell where the strings play in wide sweeping lines. For me, this is the moment where the sun bursts out over the desert and the rich, full orchestral sound seems to tell us that no matter how bad things began, they will always get better. Now, this piece is taken from an opera where the character Peer Gynt has been abandoned by his friends in a desert and attacked by monkeys overnight. So fair to say, things aren't going very well for him. But in the music, we can hear that the morning is a fresh start for Gynt, full of hope that no matter how bad yesterday was, today is a new beginning. A lot of us hold hope for new beginnings, especially when things are hard. From something as small as being overwhelmed with schoolwork to something bigger, like the imminent climate catastrophe. When we are struggling, we hope for a better future, and we can use music to express our struggles against those inequalities. Take, for example, Nina Simone's civil rights era hit, "I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free." Do you get the feeling of wanting to get up and dance when you hear that song? Because I always do. And that's most likely to do with the major key of the piece, the sort of happy soundingness of it, as well as the style. It's a mix of gospel and jazz music. As I'm sure many of you are aware, gospel music has its origins in music of praise and prayer, and so is overspilling with feelings of hope, because in a way, prayer is a sort of hope. But let's not forget the lyrics. This is a vocal version of the instrumental original by Billy Taylor, and it was very popular with those fighting for racial equality in 1960s America. With that context in mind, here are some lyrics that really stuck out to me. Notice the repetition of "I wish," the themes of longing, the aching for freedom. When we actually stop and think about how the music interacts with the words, we can see that Nina Simone is full of hope that things will change, and change for the better. Now, whether it's hope for the future or hope for new beginnings, hope is inevitably about what will come after. It's about what we can make better for ourselves, but more importantly, what we can make better for those who will come after us. Now, the characters Hamilton and Burr, they explore this after their children have been born in Lin-Manuel Miranda's Broadway musical Hamilton. What words come to mind when you hear that? Just shout them out. Anything works. Just the first thing that comes to your mind when you heard that. Good suggestions. Now, when I asked my friends and family, these are the responses they gave me. Now, I find that middle one really interesting, vulnerable. For me, that sense of vulnerability comes from the instrumentation. You've just got piano, strings, guitar, and vocals. There's not much going on, so it just feels quite intimate. And the same intimacy that we hear in the music, we can also hear in the characters' words. They promise their newborns that if we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll give the world to you and you'll blow us all away. I believe hope always requires vulnerability. We need to be able to look at where we are now and say that we're not happy with it, but that we're willing to try and make a change so that the future is better. So we pass on a world that is better than the one that we inherited. To finish, I want to ask you all a question. Where do you see hope in your life? Music is where I see hope. It's a medium where I can express myself. Something that not only lets me tell my stories of hope, but also lets me tell other people's stories. Their hope for new beginnings, their fight for change, their hope for a better future. And I believe it's this hope that makes Trenneth, the day after tomorrow. It's this hope that allows us to wake up in the morning and drive for change, be the change makers of tomorrow that this school encourages us to be. And much like this school, music has a very unique ability to unite us regardless of background. I believe we need to hold on to that unity in hope, so that our new beginnings, our changes, and our future can benefit us all. So that another 4-year-old girl can sit down at a piano and hope that she can make a difference, like I hope I have today. Thank you.